Hey besties, welcome back to Pixar Tea Astrology. I'm finally back after a hiatus because my grandma hurt herself and I became her full-time caretaker, and then I had to go to Florida to help my dad, and I think everything of dealing with family members is wrapping up now, so I can focus more on giving you content. So I'm going to start kind of new things. I'm going to try new things here, okay? I am going to do a shorter forecast that just kind of highlights the main events of the month. And I also have separate videos that are little mini horoscopes for each of the signs. So you can go ahead and look for those. Also, maybe I'll have them linked. I don't know. You'll be able to find them though. So I'm going to call this series Pix's Predictions, Magical Monthly Astrology Highlights to Watch. So let us hop right in. May is going to be kind of cool. I like May. I'm excited about May. Let's start with May 1st. That is the first event I want to discuss. So Monday, May 1st, we have Pluto stationing retrograde and we have a Mercury Cazimi. So I'm going to talk about Pluto retrograde first, and then I'll go into the Cazimi. All right, so when Pluto stations retrograde, you might notice things get a little bit bumpy, subtly. That's because Pluto doing anything really, tends to signal transformations, rebirths, or changes. So it's like you're shedding a layer of yourself and getting ready for a fresh start in some part of your life. And just a heads up, this is one of the many steps in Pluto's journey into Aquarius for good. So Capricorns, don't be too excited. Pluto's coming back. Pluto's retrograding back. But during Pluto's station, you could find yourself rethinking past choices, whether it's about relationships or career moves. It's a time when lingering issues may bubble up to the surface. Pluto shows you the underbelly of things so that you can work through them, heal them, shed them, and be renewed. So you might see some secrets coming out into the open, reconnecting with old friends that you haven't seen in ages, or maybe even reigniting a past romance of some kind. Whatever it is, it could lead to some valuable lessons or help you find some closure. So now, Pluto stationing might also shake things up when it comes to power dynamics in your relationships or at work. You might become more aware of any manipulative or controlling behavior with people, whether it's coming from you or from someone else, or you might take steps to deal with someone who is acting Pluto-y. This phase gives you a chance to reevaluate and adjust connections so you can work towards healthier and more positive interactions. And also, just so you know, Aquarius risings and the rest of the fixed rising signs, that's Scorpio, that's Taurus, and that's Leo risings, are likely to feel this Pluto station the strongest, since it's going to be angular in y'all's charts. So keep that in mind and just be prepared for some subtle shifts. Some might be powerful, some might be intense, but overall, probably more subtle. Okay, same day, we have the Mercury Cazimi. Mercury retrograde conjoins the Sun at 11 degrees Taurus. It's inferior conjunction. We've got this moment that marks a halfway point of the Mercury retrograde, the inferior conjunction, Mercury Cazimi. So now, this Cazimi is super interesting because, Cazimis in general are super interesting. It's when a planet conjoins the Sun. And what's cool about Mercury Cazimi is that it can bring some much needed clarity and understanding to things, even though Mercury retrograde is usually known for causing all sorts of communication problems. But you may notice that any misunderstandings or miscommunications that have been building up since the retrograde start to finally clear up with this Cazimi, as you and the people around you gain new perspectives and new insights from this Cazimi. Mercury conjoins the heart of the Sun. The Sun is like the king in astrology, and Mercury gets to sit in the throne of the king, and the king gets to tell him secrets. So that brings us clarity. For instance, maybe you are working on a project that's hit some snags because of some sort of communication issues, and now you find a way to bring it back on track on May 1st. Or it could be that you finally have a heart-to-heart with someone that you care about, clearing the air, resolving any lingering misunderstandings or hurt feelings. This is a perfect time to take a step back and think about how your thoughts and your communication patterns affect your relationships and your goals. It's like Mercury retrograde's halfway point is giving you a chance to reevaluate and reassess what really matters. So, if you are a Gemini rising or a Virgo rising, you might be feeling extra crispy at this point, kind of tired, kind of burnt out, maybe sick. But remember, these moments of reflection and growth can ultimately lead to much better understanding and much stronger connections with the people around you. So let's move on to the next thing I want to talk about, and that is the lunar eclipse at 14 degrees Scorpio on Friday, May 5th. So eclipses are very powerful events that really shake things up in our lives. They're all about closing one chapter while simultaneously starting another chapter, and they create interesting overlaps where the effects can play out over the next 6 months, pretty much. So during this full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio, you might find that you're experiencing a sense of closure or completion in some sort of area of your life. This could be something like ending a relationship, a shift in your career, or changing what matters most to you personally. So maybe you decide to leave a job that doesn't feel right anymore, or start searching for something that's a better fit for who you are. And like I mentioned before, lunar eclipses are known for new beginnings and opportunities for growth too. When one door closes, another one might swing wide open, inviting you to head out into a new adventure or explore new paths that you haven't considered before. So this could also mean making a significant decision, jumping into a new relationship, picking up a cool new hobby, or even taking steps to move to a different city. So just existing through the end of one chapter and the beginning of another chapter. And now, emotions tend to be all over the place during lunar eclipses, so it's totally normal to feel really sensitive or introspective as you think about all the changes going on. This eclipse time, these few days of heightened emotional awareness, can actually be quite helpful, although annoying, but helpful, giving you a deeper understanding of what you need and what you want. So, for people with planets or points near the middle of Scorpio or any of the other fixed signs, that's Leo, Taurus, or Aquarius, this eclipse might feel especially intense for y'all. Just remember, though, that these are powerful moments. Eclipses are powerful that lead to incredible growth and transformation. So although the energy might be wonky, overall, the change is going to be helpful. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is Sunday, May 7th. That is when Venus enters Cancer. And when Venus enters Cancer, Venus, the planet that's all about love, beauty, and values, jumping into the emotional, sensitive, goofy world of Cancer usually brings more focus to home, family, and all that cozy, warm feeling of emotional security. Venus will be in Cancer for about 3 to 4 weeks. And you might find yourself wanting to spend more time with people that you love, people you want to hang out with, making sure that your family or your close friends are feeling comfortable and happy. Now is the perfect time to plan a family gathering or to help a friend with a personal problem or work on making your home extra cozy and extra welcoming. And as for romance with Venus in Cancer, it encourages us to go for a deeper emotional connection and look for a more nurturing, supportive partnership. So if you're in a relationship, you and your partner might start having more meaningful conversations or sharing more feelings openly or feeling more intimate, taking care of each other's emotional needs better. And if you are not in a relationship right now, you might be drawn to potential partners who offer you a sense of stability and emotional security. So while Venus is in Cancer, you might be noticing that you're more sensitive to the feelings of others. Maybe it's making you more empathetic, more compassionate, but you could be noticing clinginess also, or anxious attachment styles, or overly dependent people, or maybe this is you. It's kind of just the weather, okay? On the money side of things, because this is Venus in Cancer gets us thinking more about financial security and long-term investments, especially when it comes to your home, your foundation, your family, your security. You might consider buying property, investing in home improvements, or building some sort of financial safety net for the future. So the Venus ruled folks, that's Taurus rising, Libra rising. This Venus transit is going to bring the most significant changes for y'all because Venus is your ruling planet. So whatever Venus is doing, Venus ruled folks are going to be feeling it and be influenced by it. Cancer risings will also be feeling the energy, and they might be in for a nice little surprise, like feeling more confident in themselves or deciding to give themselves a mini makeover and just generally feeling more attractive or being more attractive to people. So that's Venus in Cancer. Okay, so next I want to talk about Mercury stationing direct on Sunday, May 14th. It'll be stationing direct at 5 degrees Taurus, and it was retrograde since April 21st. As Mercury gets back on track, it is definitely a sign that things are shifting towards better communication, clearer thinking, and just forward movement. But remember, just like a car needs to stop completely before switching into reverse, Mercury kind of goes into neutral also for a second before moving forward again. So now is the time to use the lessons and learning during the retrograde and to make adjustments. If you've had communication problems, misunderstandings, delays, things should start to get better and feel a lot smoother. This is when you can start to apply the insights. My printer just started talking. I don't know if you can hear it. It's very, it has things to say about Mercury direct, doesn't it? All right. So when Mercury stations direct, this is when you get to apply your insights and improvements that you've been thinking about and make smarter choices and get your plans in order. And as Mercury starts moving forward, it's a good time to kick off new projects, sign contracts, and get all those important convos that you've put on hold during the retrograde, get into them. Keep in mind, though, Mercury stationing direct can still feel a little bit shaky as it slowly speeds up. So it might take a little while for the full effects of the Mercury retrograde cycle or Mercury moving forward to really show up. So just be patient and give yourself and give others some space to adapt to the new vibe. You know what I'm saying? And next, we're going to get into my favorite transit of the year. This is Tuesday, May 16th. Jupiter enters Taurus. And this is my favorite transit of the year because of its positive influence on material things and stability and all things Venus. We love Jupiter in a Venus sign in this house, okay? So Jupiter in Taurus brings opportunities for financial growth and prosperity. You might find yourself more focused on building long-term wealth, investing in assets, pursuing professional opportunities that offer more financial security. This is the astro weather to get a promotion, to start a successful business, to make wise investments that lead to substantial gains. During Jupiter in Taurus, which lasts about a year, you might also experience heightened appreciation for the simple pleasures of life, such as good food, comfortable surroundings, enjoyable experiences. You might find yourself wanting to indulge in sensory pleasures more than usual. The Jupiter-ruled folks, that's Sagittarius risings and Pisces risings, you're likely to feel the effects of this ingress most prominently and most positively, besides also Taurus, who will be feeling it prominently and positively. Taurus risings, as well as the rest of the fixed rising signs, that's Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius risings, you're all likely to also feel the effects of this transit prominently. For y'all, Jupiter's entry into Taurus brings growth and changes in home life, career, partnerships, and personal development, all the angular houses. So besides material prosperity, Jupiter in Taurus also encourages personal growth and a deeper understanding of your values and your priorities. So Jupiter in Taurus is a time to reflect on what truly matters to you and to align your actions to your core beliefs. And Jupiter in Taurus can help you create a life that is not only financially abundant, but also rich in meaning and purpose. We love Jupiter. Okay, and so with all that being said, I love Jupiter in Taurus. It's true. But when Jupiter ingresses into Taurus, it moves into a square with Pluto. It immediately squares off with Pluto with the ingress. So this leads to some intense vibes that we have to work through for a couple days with the ingress. It won't be for the entirety of the transit, but we have to deal with it with the ingress, which is interesting. So when Jupiter enters Taurus and we get all of these goodies, it immediately squares off with Pluto, which can lead to some intense vibes, some power struggles, and maybe it brings chances for growth, chances for transformation. With Jupiter square Pluto, you might feel a strong urge to succeed. Like you might be extra determined or make a big impact in some part of your life. You could be chasing some real ambitious goals and trying to reclaim your power in certain situations. But heads up, this aspect can also stir up conflicts and power plays, both within yourself and with other people that you're dealing with. You might be competing with coworkers for a promotion, for example, or dealing with pushback as you try to flex your influence in some way. Again, Jupiter ruled folks, the Sag risings and the Pisces risings, and fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, you'll be feeling this transit more than others. All right, next I want to talk about the new moon for May. We have a new moon at 28 degrees Taurus on Friday, May 19th. And when there's a new moon in Taurus, it's like hitting a reset button in the down-to-earth, practical world of Taurus. So new moons usually mean new beginnings. So it's the perfect moment to focus on your goals, manifest your dreams, and plant metaphorical seeds or real seeds. So the Taurus new moon is all about getting your finances and your personal values in check. Think about setting some money goals, saving more, or looking into new career paths. You could make a budget, you could explore investments, or update that resume. It's not just about money, though. The new moon also wants you to look at your values and make sure you're living a life that is true to you. Maybe it's time to reassess your priorities and maybe make some changes that lead to more genuine, satisfying lives. Another cool thing about the Taurus new moon is that it's in Taurus. It's about chilling and enjoying life's pleasures. Taurus energy loves good food, relaxation, comfiness. So during this exalted new moon, treat yourself to some downtime, whether it's a long bath, delicious meal, or spending time outdoors. This is a great new moon to light a candle to manifest something related to the Taurus house in your chart, or manifest something related to material things or security related topics. But to sum it all up, the new moon in Taurus is your chance to focus on finances, personal values, and self-care, physical self-care. Set your intentions, give yourself extra love for this new moon, and get ready to embrace the fresh start that the new moon offers. New moons in Taurus love to make us more grounded and more prosperous. Okay, second to last thing I want to talk about. Saturday, May 20th, Mars enters Leo. And this is probably the most challenging aspect of the month for people. I personally love Mars in Leo. I like it way better than Mars in Cancer. But Mars is still a malefic, so whenever it does a thing, it can bring a challenge. So when Mars rolls into Leo, things get a lot more lively. As action-packed planet Mars is entering the bold and creative Leo energy. So for like 6 weeks, you'll feel a lot more fired up, ready to shine, ready to show off your skills, having a lot more energy than usual, noticing other people having a lot more energy than usual. Basically, Mars in Leo has you stepping up in your life, taking risks, putting your creativity out there, or just being more open with people around you, being more honest. It's much more active Mars than what we've had for the past year or so, with Mars retrograding in Gemini before entering Cancer. So It's a lot fierier than what we are used to for the past year or so. So basically, Mars in Leo is just a lot more energy. And with more energy, more activity can be more challenges. And that just kind of happens. But you'll have the energy to deal with the challenges. But what makes this actually more challenging than just the ingress is the fact that when it ingresses, it opposes Pluto, the transformation master. So it's like a showdown between your urge to express yourself and your need for change. You might end up in some sort of crazy argument with somebody, or feeling torn between expressing your truth and keeping it in. If you're a fixed rising sign, that's Taurus rising, Leo rising, Scorpio rising, or Aquarius rising, you will be feeling this Mars-Pluto face-off the most. Just keep your cool, stay mindful, find the right balance to make the most of the wild energy. Aries risings and Scorpio risings will be feeling a lot more like themselves, though. You know, they're Mars ruled, and Mars getting out of Cancer will be a major improvement for y'all. All right. The last thing I want to talk about is on Sunday, May 21st. That is when Gemini season begins. And when the sun rolls into Gemini, it is a vibe that is all about curious, chatty, and ready to adapt vibes. So Gemini is ruled by Mercury, famous for its dual nature, quick wit, and smarts. During Gemini season, you'll probably be down to learn a lot more. You'll be down to dive into all sorts of convos, maybe juggling multiple interests. It's a great time for networking, exchanging ideas, channeling your inner social butterfly, and score some really cool opportunities and connections. Gemini's story is linked to the sun's path in the sky during Gemini season. So as the sun is climbing higher and higher in the sky towards the summer solstice, it is Gemini season. As the sun climbs higher and higher in the sky, peaking at the summer solstice at the highest point, it's all about wanting to learn and grow and live it up and be that Gemini chatty energy. But at the end of Gemini season, beginning of Cancer season, that cusp day, that is the longest day of the year. That is the day the sun is highest in the sky. So the beginning of Gemini season has the sun rising and ascending towards the highest point. And the end of Gemini season has the sun at the highest point and then turning to begin its descent downward. So once the solstice hits, the sun's like, time to head down. It starts losing daylight, and that kicks off Cancer season. So that's kind of what Gemini energy is all about. It's about chasing what you want, then dropping it in a heartbeat when it's time to move on. Geminis are notorious for this energy. They are super adaptable and always ready to embrace change, which is a big part of their vibe. I mean, we also have the twins, symbolizing their dual nature, like reaching the stars and then diving into the shadows. Mercury, who is Gemini's boss planet, just adds to this duality, switching between the morning star and the evening star, going light to dark also. So again, Gemini season, or Gemini, is all about switching things up, going with the flow, using your brain power, making it a perfect fit for thinkers, writers, journalists. It's all about balancing the chase and the release, getting that whole duality thing and the ups and downs of life. So overall, when the sun is in Gemini, it's like asking us to get curious, get flexible, and get intellectual. All right, that's it for Pix's predictions for the month of May. If you like this video and want to chat with other astrology enthusiasts, you can join my 9th house Discord community where we discuss all things magic. For more tailored insights, don't forget to check out my weekly written horoscopes. And if you're looking for something extra special, consider treating yourself to a personalized monthly horoscope crafted just for you. Those are my R&Rs. Thanks for watching Pixar T Astrology. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it with your friends, make sure to subscribe for more down-to-earth astrology content, and I will catch you next time. Bye, friends.